You are listening to the Big 870. This is WWL First News. Family of 4 found dead in Dulvey. The Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office have reported that the Baker family were found dead in their home in North Dulvey on the 21st of July. The surrounding details are currently unknown, apart from the deaths of Jack Baker, his wife Marguerite, their son Lucas, and daughter Zoe. Deputy Sheriff Dave Anderson has also been missing since the 19th, according to Deputy Sheriff Riley Whiteford, who visited the Baker's residence around the time of his disappearance. At least 20 other people have gone missing in Plaquemines Parish, although it is unknown if the missing are connected to the Bakers. The Baker family themselves had disappeared from public life in 2014. The Sheriff's Office, along with the U.S. Coast Guard, are also investigating a shipwreck found near the Baker estate, believed to be the SS Annabelle. The tanker disappeared in the Gulf of Mexico during a violent hurricane in October 2014. Plaquemines Parish, along with the Louisiana State Police, are working to determine if the tanker and the deaths of the Baker family may be connected.
The National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on Hurricane Josephine, located over the southeast Gulf of Mexico. Reconnaissance aircraft finds Josephine stronger as it drifts northward in the Gulf of Mexico. At 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 1500 UTC, the center of Hurricane Josephine was located near latitude 24.8 north, longitude 87.5 west. Josephine is moving toward the north-northwest near 3 miles per hour, or 5 kilometers per hour, and this motion is expected to continue tonight and Wednesday, followed by a turn toward the north with an increase in forward speed on Thursday. The center of Josephine is expected to continue northward in the central Gulf of Mexico during the next 24 to 36 hours. Maximum sustained winds remain near 85 miles per hour, 135 kilometers per hour, with higher gusts. Gradual strengthening is forecast during the next 48 hours, and Josephine is expected to become a major hurricane by Thursday. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 25 miles, or 35 kilometers, from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 80 miles, or 130 kilometers from the center. The estimated minimum central pressure from both NOAA and Air Force reconnaissance planes was 979 millibars, or 28.91 inches. Here is the forecast for the following parishes.
.1 KBDU, Houma, Louisiana. This is Voodoo 104. Louisiana residents continue to monitor Hurricane Josephine as it moves slowly northward in the Gulf of Mexico. The latest National Hurricane Center forecast has Josephine making landfall as a Category 3 hurricane along the Louisiana coast Thursday night or Friday. Hurricane watches may be issued as early as Tuesday afternoon as forecast details are refined early this morning. Governor Bobby Jindal encourages residents and businesses, especially those in low-lying coastal areas, to prepare for significant impacts as the threat from Hurricane Josephine increases. The Coast Guard is continuing to search for the SS Annabelle in the Gulf of Mexico. The cargo ship last reported very rough seas and poor visibility before losing contact with officials Monday night.
This is the National Weather Service office in Slidell, Louisiana. The preceding signal was a test of the NOAA Weather Radio Public Warning System. During potentially dangerous weather situations, specially built receivers are automatically activated by this signal to warn of the impending hazard. Tests of this signal and your receiver's performance are normally conducted by the National Weather Service between 11 a.m. and noon every Wednesday. If there is a threat of severe weather, the test will be postponed to the next available good weather day. Reception of this broadcast and especially the warning alarm will vary at any given location. This variability, normally more noticeable at greater distances from the transmitter, can occur even though you are using a good quality receiver in good working order. To provide the most consistent and dependable warning service possible, the warning alarm will be activated for hazardous watches and warnings for the following parishes in Louisiana: Ascension, Assumption, Iberia, Iberville, Lafourche, St. James, St. Martin, St. Mary, and Terrebonne. The Morgan City NOAA weather radio system is equipped with an additional service called SAME. SAME is short for Specific Area Message Encoder, which activates special receivers in only the parish desired. Tropical storm watch in effect.
The civil authorities have issued a local area emergency for Plaque Heavens, LA. Beginning at 11:19 a.m. and ending at 5:19 p.m., mandatory evacuation for Plaque Heavens Parish. Tropical storm conditions will begin Friday morning. Secure your home, pack valuables, important papers, emergency kit and leave in an orderly manner, preferably during daylight hours. If you need transportation, call Community Action Transit. 504-934-6940 or Plaque Heavens Parish Switchboard 504-934-6000. The civil authorities have issued an immediate evacuation for Lafourche, LA. Beginning at 2:58 p.m. and ending at 5:58 p.m., Lafourche Parish will begin a mandatory evacuation for all of Lafourche Parish starting at 5 a.m. tomorrow, especially for those in low-lying areas and mobile homes. Public officials will continue to monitor Josephine and continue to release updates as new information becomes available. Persons needing transportation should go to the following parish pickup sites: the La Rosie Civic Center, Central Lafourche High School, or Thibotix High School.
Tropical storm watch in effect. Hurricane watch in effect. Flash flood watch in effect from Friday afternoon through Saturday morning. The National Weather Service in New Orleans has issued a flash flood watch for portions of southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, including the following areas: in southeast Louisiana, Ascension, Assumption, East Baton Rouge, East Feliciana, Iberville, Livingston, Lower Jefferson, Lower Lafourche, Lower Plaquemines, Lower St. Bernard, Lower Terrebonne, Northern Tangipahoa, Orleans, Point Coupee, Southern Tangipahoa, St. Charles, St. Helena, St. James, St. John the Baptist, St. Tammany, Upper Jefferson, Upper Lafourche, Upper Plaquemines, Upper St. Bernard, Upper Terrebonne, Washington, West Baton Rouge, and West Feliciana. In southern Mississippi, Amite, Hancock, Harrison, Jackson, Pearl River, Pike, Walthall, and Wilkinson. From Friday afternoon through Saturday morning, heavy rainfall possible as Hurricane Josephine moves slowly northwestward on Friday through Saturday morning. Rainfall totals are expected to range between 10 and 15 inches over a 36-hour period, with locally up to 20 inches possible. Rainfall rates may overwhelm drainage systems and pumps, resulting in rapid runoff and street flooding. Low-lying and flood-prone areas may experience flash flooding capable of stalling cars and threatening homes and businesses. A flash flood watch means that conditions may develop that lead to flash flooding. Flash flooding is a very dangerous situation. You should monitor later forecasts and be prepared to take action should flash flood warnings be issued. Dangerous Hurricane Josephine threatens the north-central Gulf Coast.
Special weather bulletin from Rock 97.7. A hurricane watch is in effect for the entire Louisiana coast as Hurricane Josephine continues slowly northward. On the latest forecast track, Josephine is expected to make landfall late Thursday evening south of Houma, Louisiana. Maximum sustained winds are near 125 miles per hour, with
The civil authorities have issued an immediate evacuation for Terrebonne, LA. Beginning at 5:24 p.m. and ending at 11:24 p.m. Mandatory evacuation order for all of Terrebonne Parish. Hurricane conditions are expected within 48 hours. No shelters will be open in Terrebonne Parish. Parish pickup point is at H.L. Bourgeois High School. For more information, please visit the Terrebonne Parish Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness website at tohscp.com or call it 985-873-6357.
Dangerous Hurricane Josephine to impact the region Thursday night into Friday night. New information. Hurricane and tropical storm watches have been issued. Areas affected. This local statement provides important information and recommended actions for people and marine interests in select locations and coastal water legs of southeastern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and adjacent coastal waters. Watches/warnings. A hurricane watch continues for the following locations: in southeast Louisiana, Ascension, Assumption, East Baton Rouge, Iberville, Livingston, Lower Jefferson, Lower Lafourche, Lower Plaquemines, Lower Terrebonne, Orleans, Point Coupee, St. Charles, St. James, St. John the Baptist, Upper Jefferson, Upper Lafourche, Upper Plaquemines, Upper Terrebonne, Washington, and West Baton Rouge. For marine interests, a hurricane watch continues for coastal waters. A tropical storm watch continues for the following locations: in southeast Louisiana, East Feliciana, Lower St. Bernard, Northern Tangipahoa, St. Helena, St. Tammany, Southern Tangipahoa, Upper St. Bernard, Washington, and West Feliciana. In southern Mississippi, Amite, Hancock, Harrison, Jackson, Pearl River, Pike, Walthall, and Wilkinson. A flash flood watch is in effect for all of southeastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Please listen closely for any flash flood warnings that might be in effect for your area. Please check the latest public and marine forecasts for detailed information about additional hazards. Storm information. At 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time, the center of Hurricane Josephine was located near latitude 26.1 north, longitude 86.7 west. This was about 330 miles southeast of New Orleans, Louisiana, or about 400 miles southeast of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Storm motion was northwest or 315 degrees at 7 miles per hour. Storm intensity was 130 miles per hour. Situation overview. Hurricane Josephine is forecast to track slowly northwest over the next 48 hours, with the outer bands from Josephine likely beginning to impact the area late Friday morning into Saturday. Conditions are then likely to rapidly deteriorate in torrential rain and strengthening winds Friday afternoon. The worst conditions are likely Friday evening into early Saturday morning, with increasing potential for damaging winds, flooding rains, and significant coastal flooding across much of the region. It is too early to provide exact wind and surge forecast values for specific locations. Depending on the exact track, intensity and timing of Hurricane Josephine, there is potential for moderate to major coastal flooding damage if the greatest surge coincides with the times of high tides Friday morning and / or Friday afternoon. This surge will be exacerbated by battering surf. The potential exists for an excess of 15 to 20 inches of rainfall across the region, with locally even higher amounts possible. Based on recent heavy rains, if these rainfall amounts occur, moderate to major river flooding is likely at numerous sites across our river basins. In addition, significant and widespread urban and poor drainage flooding will also be an issue. As a result, a flash flood watch is in effect for the area. See latest forecast for latest information. Precautionary preparedness actions. For those under a watch, now is the time to begin preparing your home or business according to your hurricane disaster plan. Listen for possible warnings and be ready to evacuate if necessary. Heed the advice of local officials and comply with any orders that are issued. For interests at ports, docks, and marinas, it is recommended that you perform the prescribed preparations according to your emergency operations plan for tropical cyclones. If you live on a boat, begin to safely secure your craft and make plans to leave it for adequate land-based shelter. Listen for possible warnings. Regarding the coastal waters under a watch, small craft should return to port or seek safe harbor. Closely monitor NOAA weather radio or other local news outlets for official storm information. Listen for possible changes to the forecast. For additional precautionary and preparedness information, please refer to the detailed recommendations relative to your location as further described by your local National Weather Service office and your local emergency management. Next update. The next local statement will be issued by the National Weather Service in New Orleans around 11:30 a.m. or sooner if conditions warrant. Tropical storm warning in effect. Hurricane warning in effect. Dangerous category for Hurricane Josephine continues west-northwestward but expected to turn northward. New hurricane and tropical storm warnings issued for the northern Gulf Coast.
.5 WFMF, here is the latest information on Major Hurricane Josephine. As of 10 a.m. Central Time, hurricane warnings are in effect for much of southeast Louisiana, including the cities of Houma, Morgan City, and New Orleans. Tropical storm warnings are in effect for the Lafayette area and northeast Louisiana. Please stand by as we relay this emergency alert system message from the governor's office.
This is a statewide activation of the Louisiana Emergency Alert System. As of 12 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Phase 3 evacuation is now in effect. All communities located south of Interstate 10, in addition to the New Orleans metropolitan area, should evacuate if not already mandated. Counterflow traffic is now in effect on most interstate highways. For Lafayette area evacuees, follow the Interstate 49 counterflow to Alexandria. Those in the New Orleans metropolitan area should use the Interstate 55 or Interstate 59 counterflows to Mississippi. All other residents across Louisiana should avoid unnecessary travel to allow safe and efficient evacuation of affected individuals. Stay tuned to radio and television stations for additional information from local officials.
That was a message from the governor's office. Phase 3 evacuation is now in effect. There are no mandatory evacuation orders for the city of Baton Rouge, although voluntary evacuations are recommended for residents in low-lying or flood-prone areas. Those who live in RVs or mobile homes should consider moving to sturdy shelter. The center of Hurricane Josephine is expected to pass just east of the city, but will remain a powerful hurricane at that time. For those interested in evacuating, the recommended routes are as
Tropical storm warning remains in effect. Hurricane warning remains. Devastating damage expected. Hurricane Josephine, a most powerful hurricane with unprecedented strength, rivaling the intensity of Hurricane Katrina of 2005. Most of the area will be uninhabitable for weeks, perhaps longer. At least one half of well-constructed homes will have roof and wall failure. All gabled roofs will fail, leaving those homes severely damaged or destroyed. The majority of industrial buildings will become non-functional. Partial to complete wall and roof failure is expected. All wood-framed low-rising apartment buildings will be destroyed. Concrete-blocked low-rise apartments will sustain major damage, including some wall and roof failure. High-rise office and apartment buildings will sway dangerously, due to the point of total collapse. All windows will blow out. Airborne debris will be widespread, and may include heavy items such as household appliances and even light vehicles. Sport utility vehicles and light trucks will be moved. The blown debris will create additional destruction. Persons, pets, and livestock exposed to the winds will face certain death if struck. Power outages will last for weeks, as most power poles will be down and transformers destroyed. Water shortages will make human suffering incredible by modern standards. The vast majority of native trees will be snapped or uprooted. Only the hardiest will remain standing, but be totally defoliated. Few crops will remain. Livestock left exposed to the winds will be killed. A hurricane warning is issued when sustained winds near hurricane force, or frequent gusts at or above hurricane force, are certain within the next 12 to 24 hours. Once tropical storm and hurricane force winds onset, do not venture outside. Hurricane warning remains in effect. Precautionary preparedness actions.
The civil authorities have issued an immediate evacuation for Plaque Heavens, LA. Beginning at 6:20 p.m. and ending at 7:20 p.m., Plaque Heavens Parish Emergency Operations Center has issued a mandatory evacuation order for all of Plaque Heavens Parish due to the impending impacts of Hurricane Josephine. No shelters will be open in the parish. There are no traffic issues existing on the hurricane evacuation route. Now is the time to evacuate. The civil authorities have issued a civil danger warning for Terrebonne, LA. Beginning at 7:09 p.m. and ending at 9:09 p.m., mandatory evacuations are in effect for all of Terrebonne Parish due to Hurricane Josephine. No shelters will be open in Terrebonne Parish. Check the Terrebonne Parish Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness website at tohsep.com or call the 211 helpline. Hurricane Josephine is a dangerous storm that will bring high winds and storm surge. Do not wait to evacuate.
The Louisiana Emergency Management Division has issued a civil emergency message due to the imminent threat of Hurricane Josephine. The governor of Louisiana is mandating an evacuation effective at 8 a.m. today. Everyone in the following parishes must leave now: Cameron, Vermilion, Iberia, St. Mary, Terrebonne, Lafourche, Jefferson, Plaquemines, and St. Bernard. Visit emergency.louisiana.gov for more information, or call the Louisiana Emergency Helpline at 1-225-925-7500. For information on shelters, call 211. For road closures and counterflow plans, call 511.
Stations and cable systems of your area. Emergency alert system equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. If this had been an actual emergency, such as a tornado, flood, evacuation, toxic release, or any emergency that you, the public, should be timely alerted, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This station serves as a vital part of the Louisiana State Emergency Alert System. This concludes this test of the Emergency Alert System.
The National Weather Service has issued Tornado Watch number 525, effective until 10 p.m. This watch includes the following parishes in Louisiana: Ascension, Assumption, Iberia, Iberville, Lafourche, St. James, St. Martin, St. Mary, and Terrebonne, and the following marine locations: Atchafalaya and East Coast Blanche Bays, coastal waters from lower Atchafalaya River to Intracoastal City, Louisiana out 20 nautical miles, coastal waters from Port Fortune, Louisiana to lower Atchafalaya River, Louisiana out 20 nautical miles, and coastal waters from the southwest pass of the Mississippi River to Port Fortune, Louisiana out 20 nautical miles. Remember, a tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds, in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Flash flood watch remains in effect from Thursday evening through Saturday morning. The National Weather Service in New Orleans has issued a flash flood warning for Assumption Parish, Lafourche Parish. This includes the city of Thibodaux, Terrebonne Parish. This includes the city of Houma until 4 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 12:01 p.m. Central Daylight Time, National Weather Service meteorologists detected flash flooding is likely from persistent tropical rain. Orleans has issued a flash flood warning for northern Jefferson Parish. This includes the cities of Timberlane, Metairie, Marrero, Kenner, Harvey, Avondale, southwestern Orleans Parish. This includes the city of New Orleans, northern St. Charles Parish. This includes the city of Hahnville, St. John the Baptist Parish. This includes the cities of Reserve, Laplace, until 4:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 12:32 p.m. Central Daylight Time, National Weather Service meteorologists detected very heavy rain from Hurricane Josephine occurring across the warned area. Water is now being reported in some homes in Laplace. Do not drive your vehicle into areas where the water covers the roadway. The water depth may be too great to allow your car to cross safely. Move to higher ground. The National Weather Service in New Orleans has issued a flash flood warning for
The civil authorities have issued a shelter-in-place warning for Terrebonne, LA. Beginning at 1:05 p.m. and ending at 2:05 p.m., this is an emergency message from Terrebonne Parish Emergency Management. Strong winds are now occurring across Terrebonne Parish. Extremely dangerous and life-threatening winds are possible as Hurricane Josephine approaches. Anyone in Terrebonne Parish should take shelter immediately. Failure to shelter may result in loss of life or injury. The center of Hurricane Josephine will pass over Terrebonne Parish. Do not go outside as the center passes.
The National Weather Service has issued a flash flood warning for southeastern St. Tammany Parish in southeast Louisiana. This includes the city of Slidell, Eden Isle, until 6:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 2:16 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Slidell Fire Department officials reported a surge of water pouring into the central and southern portions of the city from a breach in the railroad tracks along Highway 11. Areas below 10 feet elevation will be inundated with 1 to 5 feet of flood water that will rise rapidly. This is a flash flood emergency for the city of Slidell. A flash flood warning means that flooding is imminent or occurring. If you are in the warning area, move to higher ground immediately. Residents living along streams and creeks should take immediate precautions to protect life and property. Do not attempt to cross swiftly flowing waters or waters of unknown depths by foot or by automobile. The National Weather Service in New Orleans has issued a tornado warning for northern La Fourche Parish, St. James Parish. This includes the cities of Mercy, Lucher, St. John the Baptist Parish. This includes the cities of Reserve, Laplace, Western St. Charles Parish, until 4:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 2:17 p.m. Central Daylight Time, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for La Fourche, St. James, St. John the Baptist, and St. Charles parishes, mainly for the onset of extreme hurricane winds and embedded tornadoes associated with the inner core of Hurricane Josephine as the center moves inland. Winds to 120 miles per hour with gusts to 140 miles per hour are expected, along with tornadoes. Other locations in the warning include Garyville, Edgard, and Salvatore. The safest place to be during a landfalling major hurricane with embedded tornadoes is in a strong building on the lowest floor in an interior room away from windows. Get under a workbench or other piece of sturdy furniture. Use blankets or pillows to cover your head and body. Tornado watch number 525 remains in effect until
In today's top news, record-breaking rainfall from this week's hurricane looking to come to a close tomorrow morning as the storm moves on. Out in the Gulf, reports of a missing ship have rescue crews combing the coast. We'll have the details on that search shortly. On radar, we can see the system moving along to the northeast, losing strength as it goes. And by tomorrow morning, we should be home
Any
free
news on the damage from the storm?
Here in
They haven't said.
Marguerite, open up. Got another one.
I'm coming. Oh, she's so young.
Yeah, how's Arthur guess?
Sleeping, poor thing.
Well, I say let him. He'll be okay here for a few days. At least while till we can get him into town.
Zoe, go get some fresh clothes from the laundry room, okay? Oh, looks like there's some sort of oil spill or something.
Yes.
Let's get this poor girl some fresh clothes and into a warm bed. We'll put her in Lucas's old room.
Oh, come on, can't you put her somewhere else?
Oh, Lucas, you just watch. You long outgrown that room. Always wanted to bed and breakfast.
Got your big break, didn't you? Get her to bed. I'll put some soup on. Good enough for soup, don't you think? Excuse me, Lucas. There's a change of clothes in the laundry room, dear.
You are listening to the latest Tropical Storm Josephine coverage on 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. As of 10 a.m., Hurricane Josephine has weakened to a tropical storm and is moving quickly northeastward into central Mississippi. Rescue operations are underway in affected areas across southeast Louisiana. Complete destruction has been observed in the city of Houma. The center of Hurricane Josephine passed over the city as a Category 4 storm yesterday afternoon. Josephine made landfall in southern Terrebonne Parish around 1 p.m., with winds estimated around 180 miles per hour. Most communities located south of Interstate 10 are underwater due to storm surge and very heavy rainfall. Numerous levee breaches were reported during the storm across the New Orleans metropolitan area. Emergency responders have confirmed that the Superdome has suffered serious damage, but reported minimal casualties amongst the several thousand who have sought shelter there. The governor reminds all evacuated residents to remain in their shelters as re-entry across the affected area is restricted to emergency personnel only. Many coastal and low-lying communities will likely be inhabitable for weeks, possibly months, as floodwaters are slow to recede.
This is a WWL First News special report. Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office continues to investigate an incident at the Baker Estate. where 4 family members were found dead. It is suspected that the Bakers' deaths were caused by a hydrogen sulfide leak. The leak has been blocked, and the authorities have sealed off the area in order to prevent any further accidents. This morning, Sheriff Coleridge released a follow-up report regarding this incident. 4 new victims were identified on the property. These include Clancy Jarvis, Andre Stickland, Peter Walken, and Deputy Dave Anderson. This report also included 2 injured victims, who were last seen taken away in a helicopter. Since the incident, there has been suspicion among local residents. Several posts on social media noted a military presence around the property, with some users reporting a large monster emerging from a house. The cause of death for the Baker family has also been disputed. Minden University geologist Sally Baldwin conducted a survey of the area in 1998 and found no signs of hydrogen sulfide, according to a recent interview. The Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office has not responded to any further questions regarding the incident. WWL held a special interview with the survivor of the incident. The survivor noted discrepancies with the sheriff's reports, alleging numerous murders and widespread mold contamination at the Baker estate. This and more coming up next on WWL First News.